beaut. Look at that. Such an awesome car. Just gonna throw some GoPros on it real quick.
Good.
All right, so we're gonna go for a spin in the R32 here.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it, man.
Let's take a little cruise.
This thing just feels planted, man. It's so raw.
It's hard to, yeah, it's hard to get that information across in video, but it really feels like there's 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. You know? It's all crammed in a little space. It's all real tight. Everything is just solid. I mean, we're talking about a 25, 26-year-old car. So for it to have that much fortitude packed in one little package, it's really impressive.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine what these cars felt like when they were just cherry new, you know? Super soft. This one's just ragged on the edges a little bit, so
what's done to this one?
This one is, it's got all the HKS stuff. It's a HKS 2530 turbos. It's a stock motor internally, but all the bolt-ons has a Tomei full of exhaust titanium from the downpipes, the front pipe, everything all the way back. This has 1000cc injectors running E85, a Haltech. Everything's all automatic and coordinated for flex fuel.
Very cool, man. Very cool. And power-wise, it's probably making mid-5s?
Yeah, this is mid-5s. I would say 600 at the motor, somewhere in that range. Running about 1.5 bar of boost. That's about right for these turbos. You can push them a little harder, but I'm trying to keep this one together for a little while, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We'll do a little 1, 2, 3 rip here.
Awesome. Sick.
It just grabs everything.
It just dead hooks, man. It's so awesome. That all-wheel drive is just amazing.
Yeah, and this one has a center diff controller as well, so that allows me to dial in a little more all-wheel drive magic.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, yeah, you can turn it up. I can, you know, crank it all the way to 7, and that gives me full 50/50 weight or power distribution.
Right. Can you make it all rear-wheel drive or no?
This one can't, but they have ones that can. It just basically is just one wire that gets interrupted. But they do have that for, you know, doing burnouts and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You know, it has carbon doors, has a carbon trunk, and the Hikis has been deleted, which is the all-wheel steering system. The ABS has been deleted. So this car was modified for racing and you know, for some of us, that's
for what we like to do.
That's what we want. So let's do another little rip.
Yeah, man. Brakes work.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a Nismo sliding brakes.
This car's so much fun. Alright, so we're in the R33 now?
Yep, we've gone into the future a little bit. Skipped up a few years.
What year is this again?
This is a 95.
95?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do this.
So this one's got a R34 motor in it, like I was saying, so it's a little bit peppier than stock, but nothing too crazy. It's got some baby cams in it, and 1 turbos. So
nice.
We're not gonna...
Very mild build, but...
Super mild, yeah. We're still breaking this in, so we're on lower boost. We're only running around 10 pounds of boost with it right now. This is actually a girl's car, so pretty impressive. She's cruising around in a 33 GTR.
Oh man, that's badass.
We'll get her to take you for a ride after this.
Sweet, man.
But these cars, you can see, they started to get a little bit bigger, a little bit girthier. Things started to change. You know, the steering wheel's got this gaudy airbag, and they've moved some stuff around to the point where it feels a little more like a family sedan than it does.
It's true. I mean, you
race
can
car.
in the back seats. You can actually fit people with legs in the back seat.
Yeah, you can't do that in any of the other ones.
Definitely not. tone as well.
Yeah, it's got an exhaust on it. It's nothing too crazy, but the layout of the exhaust really changes the way that these cars sound. They were pretty similar factory to factory through the years, but if you add the front pipe and start to change a couple things around, they open up and you start to get that real nice RB tone.
Oh yeah. To me, there's almost nothing better than that RB, that RB scream.
Yeah. So maybe the Supras.
Maybe just because I hear it all the time and I'm used to it.
Yeah. I think some of the better exhausts for these cars actually make them sound like a Supra, so
yeah.
it's kind of cool. Definitely different though. Let's do a little rip.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it makes all the right noises.
Exactly. You know? She's breaking in. We don't want to hurt her, so.
Yeah, it's definitely not as fast as the 32, but all around feeling, it's definitely it really feels, like you said, wider, a little bit more solid and planted.
Right.
You know, definitely the R32 is definitely more raw. Yeah, for sure.
They were definitely making some technological advances with this car, but they were kind of sticking true to that original concept.
Oh yeah.
So not bad. I would say this is honestly my least favorite of the GTRs, just because I think that there was a lot of quirkiness in them. This is the longest, the heaviest, and just a little bit turned down a notch, I guess.
Oh yeah. Oh, but, for sure. I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah. Going from this to the 34, you'll see they kind of took everything that they learned with this car and applied it to what they originally set out to do with the R32, and they created something really special.
We have the unicorn here. God, it's so beautiful. Look at this color. As soon as this thing gets into the light, I'm sure it's going to be wild. Jeez. Look at that. This thing makes my naughty parts tingle. Jesus. It's just nuts. Look at that. Just switches from like purple to blue. This thing is amazing. Sweet. So now we're in the R34 here.
Yep. Skip a few more years. 1999 GTR, and now you can really start to see like this. This is the pinnacle of the design that they were trying to achieve with the R32 and 33 and so forth. So
oh yeah.
You start to see like the technology here. We have the MFD, the multifunction display, and it gives us some information on what's going on, and shows temperatures and boost and stuff. We've got DVD. We start to see some of the more modern accoutrements. The seats are a little bit wider, a little girthier, but they still have that real race feel to them, you know. The ergonomics have changed a little bit. The steering wheels, they shrunk down the airbag a little bit, and it's pretty nice. The actual size of the car is a little smaller than the 33 now too. They shrunk it down a little bit. I think they realized that they were going in the wrong direction, getting bigger, so they've brought it down a tiny little bit. And again, you know, 12 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag now.
Oh yeah. This is really just the pinnacle, I think, of just the legendary Skyline name, you know.
Exactly. This is where it really became famous. The people that know these cars, that were watching the Fast and the Furious and playing Gran Turismo, this was the one. This is what you saved your pennies for, and we're really lucky to have the opportunity to have one.
Not many in the country, I'll tell you that.
Not many.
So the color's wild. That's a factory midnight? I think it's called Midnight Purple, right?
Midnight Purple 3, yeah. That's a factory color for this car. A lot of people don't believe it, but it is. It's kind of like a iridescent color shifting purple and bronze-ish, you know.
It's, and you know, you'll see aftermarket paint jobs like that,
Yeah.
and it's just, for some reason, you just can't pull it off as clean as the factory midnight purple. I mean, it's just, and especially on the lines of this car, it just really pops.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a really tough color to deal with, especially, you know, with multi-panels and things where you start to change shade, like you said.
It looks like a bluish purple, but then sometimes maybe you get like a little bit of like a copper or like an orange, or
yeah. In a lower light, we start to see more of that copper. But in the highlight, it has a real strong purple, metallic look to it, kind of.
Probably my favorite color of the GTR by far.
Yeah. I think a lot of people really attach themselves to this color. This is all factory suspension. This is basically a completely stock car.
Completely stock car.
It just has a catback exhaust on it. So.
Jeez. Absolute unicorn.
Yeah.
This has got to be just one of the rarest R34s in the country in the sense of the color. I mean, the color I'm sure is sought after, and I would imagine they didn't make a ton of these colors.
No, I think I don't know the numbers exactly, but I think it was like 400 or something like that. It was
which is really limited when you think about, you know,
yeah, it was a pretty low number.
Grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm. Let's do a little pull. You see the factory turbos.
For a bone stock car, this thing just, it's quick, man.
It's not bad, yeah.
It moves.
You're talking about a factory turbo car that nothing's touched. Factory ECU, everything is just, this is the way Nissan designed the car to be, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And it's impressive.
All around, I mean, it's just, compared to the others, I love the others, but this just, I don't know, it's just because I'm biased and I'm partial to the R34 because I've always wanted one, and you know, it's kind of the dream car, but it really does feel the best out of all of them. Yeah,
and the driving experience is on par with that logic, so it really does feel a lot more modern. It feels a lot more enthused than I would say like the R33 does. The 32 has a really visceral, almost archaic feel to it because of its age, obviously, but this more modern rendition really takes that and brings it into the future, I guess. Put it. Even though this car is actually, you know, pretty old now too.
Yeah,
it's a lot newer feeling than the 32s.
Oh yeah,
that 80s feel. You know?
Oh yeah, the 32s almost has like what we in the S13, you know, 240SX in the States and all that, but just a little bit more of like a raw race inspired version of like an S13 that's kind of mild, you know, for us.
Exactly. Yep.
It's not for everybody, but it sure does grab attention, I bet. Alright, time to go for a spin. Alright, so fast forward to the future now. We're in the R35 GTR.
Here we go. Now things start to look like today.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows this stuff. It's no surprises here. This is 2010. No, this was 2012 actually. This is a 2012. Got a Liberty Walk kit on it. This is a Alpha 12. We're on some normal gas though, so we're not gonna destroy it.
For sure.
You start to see like everything just completely be modernized. They actually removed the Skyline badge from this car. It's just GTR, Nissan GTR now. There was a transition period where there was no GTR, so they had the Infiniti G35, which became the chassis that they used for the Skyline. And when they developed this car, there was no room for a toned down version, I guess, Skyline, so they just left it to the G's. So now you end up with just the GTR. It's all performance oriented, and let's take it for a spin.
Let's do it, man. Got your fun modes, fun buttons.
We don't want any babysitters.
What engine management is this on?
This is just factory computer that we're using a Cobb, or actually this one is using Accutech.
Accutech? Okay.
Yeah. Those are the two most common. You got your Cobb access port and Accutech. This one's on Accutech.
Nice. It's really wild just jumping in from the 32 to the 33 to the 34 and now the 35. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's kind of like jumping in a little time machine, you know, like going through the different.
It's crazy. Yeah, to switch cars that quickly gives you a real sense of the advancements that were made through the years.
Oh yeah.
You know, we went from the 80s to today really quick.
Oh yeah. Almost feels weird being on the right side now.
Yeah. Is they went away from the manual transmission. That was a big controversial subject. A lot of people discredit this car because it doesn't have a true manual transmission, but it's still, you know, they're following the trends. I mean, with all the racing being switched over to the dual clutch trannies and such.
I mean, the advancement in performance is just unreal that you get with these transmissions.
Exactly. So you can't really take that away from them.
Oh yeah.
Plus now it's really more like a video game.
Yeah, it really is.
I like how the gauge, when it first comes up, it says Polyphony, which is like the studios that did Gran Turismo.
The Gran Turismo stuff.
Yeah, they really embraced it. All right, let's stretch it out a little bit.
So, you know, after riding in the other ones, this one just feels like an absolute just spaceship.
Everything about it, right?
Everything about it.
And this is a pretty heavy car now, too.
Pulls like an animal.
We've gone from a 3,100-pound car in 1989 to a 800-pound car?
Oh, yeah. Easy.
So, not to mention all of the Liberty Walk stuff that's on this one with the big wheels and everything.
Huge wing in the back.
This is a pig.
Can't miss that. This thing gets up and goes, and it's only on pump gas.
Yeah, this is the lower boost.
Lower boost setting.
Yeah. Probably around 800 to the wheels.
Nice.
Somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I'd have to say, out of all the cars, I think the R34 still wins it for me. It's got a spot in my heart.
Well, both of us, we've got a lot of seat time in R35s, so we can't say we didn't give them a try, right?
Oh yeah. But yeah, I think I had mine. You tuned mine I had that car for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Went 10.0, it was full bolt-on.
Stock turbos.
It was a beast. I love that thing.
Monster, yeah. And I've gone through a couple of them myself, but I keep running back to those R34s.
Something about them.
Something about them.
It's like a little more raw. It's a perfect balance, you know, a little more raw than this car with the manual transmission and all that. And
yeah, exactly.
It's not quite the R32 either. You know,
it's still
it's the perfect in between.
Yeah, it still has that visceral feel to it. It doesn't have that like video game future feel.
I mean, the video game stuff is fun at first, but then it can get boring sometimes.
It does. I like to throw some gears and make noises sometimes.
Exactly. Breaking it loose there.